Hi. Um, so today I have something a little bit different than what I've done before. It's going to be a mix of Get Ready With Me. That's going to be mainly what we're looking at on screen. And I will shift back to me talking as appropriate for the edit. So what today is going to be is, like I said, Get Ready With Me, and then I would like to talk about some opinions I have about some things I've come across just over the past few weeks. For the doing my makeup type stuff, I don't want to sit and talk about it. Like, if people have questions about brands I'm using or where I learned to do what, I'm not a not a professional makeup artist, and anyone who is obviously is gonna know that. But I think I'm okay at it. I like the way my makeup looks, so if you do too and you have questions, we can talk about it in the comments. But so for this video, I would like to talk about performativity or whatever, performativeness and hobbies. I've heard some people get irritated with that in folks, so I have some thoughts on it. And for this video, I was originally gonna call this the Labubu edition because that was going to be the main focus, but for this video, I will stick to what I was originally gonna do, was just to talk about overconsumption. RE Labubus and their ilk, right? Like blind boxes, that kind of thing. What else? I think that's it. There are a couple of life updates in here. I'm not doing a lot of cutting from today's video. At least, time-wise. I mean, I guess I will for the Get Ready With Me bits, but it's not like I have to pay really deep attention to what I'm doing there, right? It's just gonna be me sped up in the background, doing my hair a little bit, doing my makeup, that's it. And I have pulled up some visuals during the conversation recording, and that's what I mean by I'll switch back over to that and probably put makeup me in the corner. I think that's it. I just wanted to record a proper intro for what you're about to watch. So I've done that, and I think that's all I need to do recording wise. Oh, that's right. I do still want to announce in this intro, because I brought it up, the Labubu edition, right? So at some point in this video, I will be saying I just want one Labubu, and we're gonna check back in on that in the next video. So the next video or two will be the Labubu edition, right? So it's gonna be either the whole thing, or one video will be just about what happened to me. I think it would make sense to do this as one video. So it will then be what happened. And also I would like to do some demonstration and a little bit of conversation about real Labubus versus the fakes, Lafufus. Also, do keep in mind when I'm talking about collectibles, if I say dupe or duplicate, I don't mean a fake. I mean, I have more than one, right? So if I say oh yeah, the Labubus I ordered, I got this one and then a dupe, whatever, that just means I already have it. So, if I mean fake, yeah, I will say fake or Lafufu, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoy what I'm gonna do with this video. And I'm really looking forward to doing the Labubu ones. I think it's gonna be fun. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, comment if you've got something to say or any burning questions, and please enjoy. Hi. So I didn't really feel like recording today, but I thought I should make myself do it anyway. Nothing's wrong. I just wasn't especially in the mood. One of those things, but so if my energy seems different, that's why. But I am glad I made myself do this. I'm working with yet another new mic. This one's by Fifine. I actually got it through the Amazon Vine program. So I've played with it a little bit. I haven't tried it with an ocarina yet, but it seems to do pretty well with voice, and it's cute and pink, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, it came with a little shock stand, pop filter, all that. So that's exciting. I have notes for today, and I'm gonna try and stick to it, not ramble too much, all that kind of thing. I do want to start though with some life updates, just little things. I cut my hair yesterday, did it myself. It is the wolf cut, which is what I've been doing more or less for a while now, but I don't cut my hair very often. Which means I haven't had very many opportunities to practice, but I'm very, very happy with how it came out this time. I like the length and yeah, just the overall result. So I'm excited about that. And I went ahead and dyed it after I did the cut yesterday. So my roots are no longer faded. I've been trying to figure out if I don't know if you can see like these random streaks, because when I look in the mirror, I don't really see them, but I think they might actually be grays because I've been dyeing my hair for a long time. I know that like my mom, she started going gray pretty early in her 20s. But anyway, it's been so long since I've just had my natural hair color like long enough all over that I would be able to see like how my graying situation is going at this point. But I started using a demi-permanent dye instead of the permanent. And part of that is it does honestly look less obvious when my roots like start to come in, and that's been nice. But also, since I generally prefer black, if I ever, want to try something different, like it's gotta be like a bleach job or, waiting to grow it out completely. I just don't want to do that. But anyway, I'm just wondering if like these are, my grays just peeking through more in the lighting and on camera than what I tend to notice in the mirror. Like, I don't care. I think it's interesting, if anything. Anyway, so hair. Excited about that. What else? I feel like that was mostly it for like general life updates. Yeah, I can't think of anything else I wanted to bring up that's not in my notes. I was gonna start with like my August TBR and a couple of other things that just I'm gonna try and do this kind of in sections so that it's easier for me to keep focus and I don't have to worry too much about spoken transitions, I guess. It's not that big a deal either way, but anyway, since I want to talk about my TBR, obviously I would prefer to have the books on me. I don't. It doesn't matter that much, does it? I don't know, whatever. The point is, I also would like to grab something else that I'm going to show for something else for a different section. But these other two sections I wanted to talk about don't actually require me to go grab anything out of the other room. So I might just start there. Then I can pause recording, take a break. Yeah, I bet you're glad I walked you through all that. Anyway, so I think I will start with, this actually is kind of coming off of my, cozy and reading blog. I thought of a couple of other things that I like about summer, or things to appreciate and enjoy about summer. The fragrances is one that I forgot, whether it's like incense or wax melts or, perfume, that kind of stuff. I do tend to prefer richer, warmer fragrances, things that are spicy, cinnamon, clove, like apple cinnamon, pumpkin spice, that kind of stuff, right? But again, in my quest over the years to appreciate life throughout the seasons, I have been kind of experimenting with different scents. Like, I don't love coconut as a scent. Like, I like the flavor. And I don't even hate it anymore. It's just, for a long time, here's the thing, like, whatever sunblock my parents got me as a kid, like, it smelled so much like coconut. And so it's just weird to me, like, smelling it just straight up reminds me of swimming in my backyard. So as a kid, and it's not like that's bad memories necessarily, but it's just, I don't know. It's just not the vibe I'm typically going for. So far off track here, but yeah, so I've been experimenting with some of the more like fresh, floral, some fruitier scents, things like that. Like right now I'm using cucumber lemon or cucumber melon for my body spray. Which I don't like, I don't think I've purchased, period, since high school, which has been a minute. So yeah, there's that. And then obviously, summer seems like a good time for like action movies, right? Or even like binging seasons of TV episodes that you've been meaning to get to, or like your favorite ones. Rewatching, right? So I just felt like I wanted to add that. I also, I don't, like, I talk about the things I like a lot. Like, that's the whole point of me being on here. But I have, as yet, not really been very opinionated about anything. And in saying that, I'm not, like, I don't want to be, like, a major sort of, like, commentary-based thing. And by major, I just mean, like, I don't want that really to be my content. More what I'm getting at is, I don't like confrontation. I mean, I will, if pushed, stand up for myself. I will certainly stand up for someone else. That, for some reason, that often feels easier than standing up for myself. But in any case, that's not what I'm getting at. I guess I don't want to invite confrontation, but the fact of the matter is, I mean, if people want to be unpleasant online, I don't have to give my opinion on anything for someone to choose to say something unpleasant. So I do want to try and incorporate at least like a brief section of these kinds of vlogs. I do like the idea of kind of, yeah, like doing certain types of, I think it will help me keep on task for one, and know a little bit better what I'm going to want to be talking about week to week, focusing on. And so, I mean, for example, like for this one, since it's, the end of July, August is about to start. I imagine I'll have this video up before August 1st, but the point is, so there'd be like a section dedicated to talking about, reading progress, TBR, that sort of thing, if there's anything to be said about it. And then there's like project plans and updates, right? And as we saw, I started with, like a life update that I had. I did my hair and I love it. That kind of stuff. And then, yeah, project plans and updates. This is its own section, just like this would be a random one that I wouldn't obviously do every week, but more summer thoughts. an opinion section, which I do know, and this like will be unscripted. Obviously, I can go back and edit it if I misspeak and I'm like, well, that's not what I meant. The two things I want to speak on for opinion stuff today are going to be generally overconsumption a little bit and performativity. I don't know if that's a word, but performativeness in hobbies and my thoughts on that and my thoughts on other people's thoughts about it. That's usually what it's gonna come down to. Because of some of the other things I want to talk about, I'm gonna start with hobbies and performativeness therein, and then from there I'm gonna go into overconsumption, with an eye toward Labubu's and their ilk. So that will be fun. But yeah, first, so performativity and hobbies. I actually, like, what made me think about this and kind of want to talk about it is I was recent, and I don't even know if the video is recent. I will have a link for the video I'm about to talk about in the comments, but one of the booktubers I follow, I think her channel is the Book Leo. It's gonna be on the screen or in, I keep saying the comments, in the description, wherever. It'll be somewhere, but I know her name's Leonie. I'm pretty sure she's Dutch. I really, really enjoy her videos. She is, primarily a booktuber. But she was talking about, that just people like judging people for, being performative within largely the reading sphere, just that whole hobby situation, whatever. But I mean, you see it in other stuff, like even like people who are into, say, particular aesthetics. And for me, when I get into aesthetics, because I've been going through this sort of on and off phase where like I'm jumping from one to the next, and it doesn't necessarily like encompass my whole life, nor do I need it to, but like I have a pretty strong interest in the dark academia vibe. I really like it. Some people have spoken on these kinds of things with a view toward people who get too much into it. Like with dark academia, people are like, oh, well, the whole vibe encourages, the whole aesthetic encourages like unhealthy habits, like they say, like it encourages smoking and, like studying way too much, putting, way too much of yourself, your life, into studying and learning and that kind of thing. And I'm sorry, but anybody who's going to take stuff too far is going to find whatever way to take whatever it is they're into too far. Like, my point is, yeah, I'm jumping from aesthetic to aesthetic, and like I have often been more inclined toward a generally alternative look, right? Just in general. Ever since I was old enough to really start making my own stylistic choices, whatever, as far as what I was wearing, I did tend more toward goth, like punk, whatever. I would just rather call it alternative, because somebody's gonna tell me my genre is wrong no matter what. So, and I don't care that much. It doesn't matter to me. But what am I even talking about? Performative. So back to being like performative, like a performative reader. Yes, it is a little bit silly, and that's kind of one of the points that Leonie was making. Was, I mean, yeah, maybe, some of these folks that you'll see on TikTok or whatever who are all like super settled into, maybe they go to a park and like they've set up a hammock they brought with them between a couple of trees, and they're, super got just everything is aesthetic. They've got a beautiful copy of whatever book they're reading, it's all cute, and probably they're filming or whatever, or would be, you know what I mean? Like, so what? Like, I let them. I don't care. Like, I enjoy the aesthetic, right, of reading, but I've also been a pretty heavy reader since middle high school, something like that. I mean, I enjoy it, and so what if people who are really like, here's my thing, if somebody is out reading somewhat performatively, maybe it's like because they want to meet other people who like that hobby, and maybe just because they don't usually read outside or at the park. Like, I mean, so what if people want attention? Like, what are we online for? I mean, what do people post online for? Like, yeah, I'm not, I don't do much with my social media. Like, this has been my main focus for that. I occasionally glance at this subreddit or that on Reddit, but I don't take much part in social media. It exhausts me, and I don't have a lot of social energy. So my point is, even if somebody is being a little performative with something like, the hobby of reading, I get that some folks just want to be taken seriously, and like, because a lot of people are going on about like, people who only read, smut are just acting like, oh yeah, I'm a really big reader, and then you start talking to them, you realize it's just all romantasy or whatever, and it's like, and like, I have had these conversations, right? And like, romantasy is not generally my jam. I listened to this. I was trying to remember if I read or did the audiobook, but I listened to the audiobook for ACOTAR, Court of Thorns and Roses, and I listened to it all the way through the end. I was somewhat invested in some of the plot. Like, there are some interesting ideas in the world building and a lot of what's going on there, but I mean, overall, I don't consider it a great book. Like, I did not love it. And frankly, like, if people are looking for something that is, like, pornographic, that's not it. Like, there's, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 scenes that are smutty. It's been a while, but, like, I don't know. It's whatever. It's not my jam, and that's fine. Like, it just means that, if I have a friend who is a big reader, but, like, all that friend likes to read is stuff that I generally don't, I mean, I might occasionally look at, like, because, like I said, I will try a book, like, and if it's enough to keep me engaged for long enough to get through it, then good for it. Like, that is a point in ACOTAR's favor. I did care enough to listen to it all the way through. I have not gone on to the second one. I don't think about doing that very often. Every once in a while, one of the booktubers, I follow, like, either they do a new video or one of their old videos comes up about that series, and I'm reminded, and I have not felt the urge to go forward with it. I keep going off in so many directions. My point is, I think it's okay to poke fun at performativity, but I think that none of us should be taking ourselves or our hobbies too awful seriously. If I had, I would not have gotten as good at knitting as I have. If I was not willing to laugh at myself and not take myself seriously, I would not be multilingual. So, like, there are a lot of things I would not have learned if I had taken myself or the material too seriously. You know what I mean? So it's okay, I think, to be performative. If we're being performative, we are making an effort to tell other people who we are, or at the very least, who we'd like to be. So, who cares? Do what you like. Perform what you want. If people get to know you and find out you actually don't really read, I mean, they're gonna figure that out. That's my point too. Like, yeah, it might be a little time wasty if somebody's, maybe just trying to hit on book girls or something, but I don't know that that's really super common. I don't know. I don't get out in the world. Y'all tell me. So that's my thoughts on performativeness, being performative with our hobbies. So now I want to talk about overconsumption and labubu's. and such things. I don't have a real Labubu yet. I used my fake one. I'm so sure it's a fake now. In the Cozy and Reading blog, I use him as a microphone. But in my quest to find a real Labubu, I've developed a problem. So now, before I knew about Labubus, I had kind of some of this stuff on my wish list anyway. And actually, like this guy, long before I ever heard of Labubus, this was a blind box thing that I got, and it's from the same brand as the little cuties I'm about to talk about. Apparently this is a rabbit dragon. I don't know. She's cloud themed and she's very pretty. Very soft. Her tail is posable. But so yeah, it's just kind of the higher end blind box toys. I know it's ludicrous, but frankly, if you have watched anything that I've put up, or frankly even like really paid attention up to this point, I think you'll know, like, this is not crazy behavior from me. So anyway, like, Pop Mart makes Labubus, right? I will put images on the screen of what Labubus are if you don't know. You've probably heard the word at least at this point, and you may have even, like, seen them, but not fully, understood what's going on. But so Pop Mart is not the only like company that makes these kinds of toys. So I don't know if the shop Kalambu, I don't know. Again, it's gonna be somewhere so that you can go check it out. But they're on Amazon, this Kalambu shop, and I am obsessed with a couple of the blind box toys that they have that are, like keychains. They're Labubu-esque. Now, these don't come with clothes. I've been getting them through Amazon Vine, which, that was something I did bring it up in the life update, the microphone. So yeah, it doesn't matter. But, so these are called, like, Ulas or something. The box is somewhere. Oh, here we go. This might tell me. Dumia Ula Weather Series by a company called Maytree. Like I said, they don't come with clothes. One of the ones I got, which probably here I'm gonna pause and put up my little unboxing clip that I did earlier because I really wanted to open it and see what color I got. But I wanted to make sure to record my reaction, right? So I'm gonna do that now, and then I'm just gonna keep talking because oh yeah, I need to come up with a name for my fake secretary. Daz Games says Linda. Now, with Big Tug, I don't actually know if he's his own editor or if he does actually have an editor named Chris, but Chris is the person he's always talking to. So Ingrid needs an editor / secretary. Judah? Yeah. In BoJack Horseman, Princess Carolyn's like hardcore hipster assistant who was just like the most efficient being on the face of this planet. So Judah, yeah, is gonna be my editor / secretary. So yeah, Judah, put in my reaction thing, and then I'm gonna keep talking about these because I want to show all three of them. I all three of them. I've gotten 4 altogether, but I only have 3 in my collection because I ended up getting 2 of these. So I gave the other one to my lovely wife, Lo, and she is definitely like, she was like, because she was laughing at me, obviously. I don't blame her. But then, of course, when one became hers and she's looking at it, she's like, damn it, I like them too. So, yeah. This one's cute. I think she's kind of like a sunrise, sunset, or maybe like just specifically sunrise. I don't know. They each have different like little whatever these are up here. I love their eyes. They're like, they make them super deep and just, I don't know, they just end up really pretty. But these are really nice quality. They're posable. The little feet have toe beans and they move and stuff. Yeah, cute as hell. And like Labubu clothes and stuff fit them, so that's awesome. I've also got, so this is the second one that is added to my collection. He's got a little fussy face, and he is like, I guess, rainstorms and snow. I don't know. But he's precious too with his little fussy face. I got that. And then, yeah, the one, of course, that you will have seen after Judah put in the unboxing video. It's the little pink one. So pretty. But yeah. So, overconsumption. It's been on my mind too, since I've been doing this Amazon Vine thing, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's like, on Amazon, you'll see like Vine program or Vine customer review or something like that. Nobody really knows like what has to get triggered for Amazon to invite you, but it's just an invite only program. My assumption is it has to do with like your history as just a public reviewer on the stuff that you've been buying. I imagine it has to do with like you're not, breaking like review rules and people vote your stuff helpful. I don't know. That's my best guess. Probably anyone else's who thought about it for 5 seconds. But anyway, so when you start out, like, you're at silver tier, which means of the available items in the Vine catalog that obviously you get access to, you can order up to 3 items a day, up to $100 a piece. So, honestly, like, there is some good, like, this mic, like, retails, I think, like, $90, something like that, 80, 90 bucks. So there's that, like, that backpack that's back there, like, it's a really nice backpack. I've gotten a lot of wall art, and they have a lot of, like, Labubu stuff, like I said, like, obviously not brand name, but, little Labubu clothes. These little Labubu chairs, stuff like that. And then I came across this, like, it's an acrylic display case for obviously that kind of thing. I also have a lot of Funko Pops that I have not displayed for a while, so I might put them in there. And I've gotten other things that honestly, actually, that wreath on the shirt I'm wearing. So yeah, it's a pretty good deal, honestly. Like, I'm pretty sure I've got to pay the, like, sales tax when I do my taxes year to year. So that's something that, you like to look out for, especially, like, because after you do a certain amount of reviews with, good enough scores, whatever, over a 6-month period, if you get to a certain point, then they move you up to gold status, which is where you can order up to 8 things a day with no cap, right? It's still just whatever's in the catalog, but people have, like, if you look up, just Amazon Vine on YouTube, like, experience, whatever, You'll find some YouTubers who will talk about like some of the coolest things they've gotten or some of the worst, like that kind of thing. But it makes me think of this overconsumption situation because I'm now getting a ton of stuff mailed to me. And like one of the things, one of the bigger, more, for me anyway, cool things that I got was like a shoe rack, which sounds ridiculous, but it's like 4 shelves, and then on top it's like basically a console table. It's very nice. But putting it together, like, I know that they packaged it to be smaller, or they designed it to be smaller to ship, because there were a lot of very short poles, and each of them was like individually wrapped in plastic. And I'm just like, this is a lot, right? Like, not good. And that is the kind of stuff that I tend to think about in terms of overconsumption. I mean, I don't have a tendency to hold on too hard to too much stuff, right? Like, I do get to a point of, if I am struggling to organize my things, to find space for things, then I do not have a problem with starting to throw stuff out. I realize, I have too much of whatever and it's got to go. Or I've known for a long time, like, I need to go through some things and get rid of it, Just haven't got around to it. But as far as, like, Labubu and this kind of thing being, the bane of mankind, it's not good. But here's my thing. Like, these toys are on the more expensive side on it, like $30. Like, that's what these cost too, and that's about what the normal price a Labubu runs from the company. So, like, if you manage to make a purchase through the Pop Mart app, then it's $27.99, I believe, is what most Labubus run. But that's not a small amount of money for a trinket, right? And today, like, in this economy, right? So I'm certainly willing to say that there are gonna be some people who are spending a ton of money on these. They are tearing them open for the sake of, like, social media more than anything, right? And, maybe, like, just throwing away so much trash. And I know, like, in some of the videos that I've watched about this, the creators have mentioned that the boxes that Labubus come in are not recyclable. I wouldn't know. I haven't gotten my hands on a real one yet. I think I should be able to within a couple of months if one of the 2 that are in the mail right now is still not real. Just want one. And I can just happily go on collecting these. But my point is, I don't think that they are necessarily contributing that much more to the hellscape that our climate situation is right now. You know what I mean? Just across the board, we really need to change some things. I don't have a lot of room to talk because while I do in some ways try not to be overly wasteful, like, if there is, like, makeup wipes, for example, right? I love the makeup erasers because you can just wash and reuse them, and I don't have to buy makeup remover and stuff like that, right? Like, with menstrual products, for example, not having, like, tampons and things like that have all the plastic and the wrapper and stuff and this, that, and the other thing, like, I don't like creating more trash than I have to. It feels wrong, right? Like, I guess, I don't know, like, this isn't a call to action or anything. I'm just kind of discussing my opinions on this particular issue. I mean, overconsumption is a problem across the board. Labubus are, I think, driving some people to make some unfortunate financial decisions, are probably driving some people who can and can't afford it but more in this part, I'm talking about people who can, to be more wasteful. One person who did speak on Labubus, and he actually had already been collecting them before like this blew up. He did put it this way though, and it makes me think of like my Funkos, right? So I don't collect Funkos anymore, but I still have my collection. I'm not interested in throwing it out or getting rid of it. Like, I'm gonna put them up to decorate with. And like this little set of little dudes, the Ulo whatevers, like they're cute as hell, right? But like, even though I'm in a situation where if I really wanted to, I could make a terrible financial decision and just buy a couple cases, and I would end up with not only all of the ones the whole set, but also I would have a good chance toward, the rare one. I'm not really interested in spending money like that, though. I do want to collect them. I already want to order another one of these. I would like to see what's going on with my Labubus, hopefully tomorrow first, before I try ordering any more of anything. I should, anyway. Like, this really is just, like, my beginning of a collection, right? And I'm very excited about it, and I just want to make sure that I don't get too excited too fast, so... I think that's really all I have to say. I mean, I forgot to share this guy. This is also from Kalimbu, but he's a different line. These are called like Kimmons. And anyway, I don't know. He had like kind of a circusy vibe, him and all his friends. I like him. I like how he sorry, this is my DJI mic, but no, I just like how from the back, like, you could almost mistake him for a Labubu. Anyway. So yeah, these guys are real cute too. I don't know that I want to collect the whole set of them. But there are a couple others in this line that I wouldn't mind having. I do have a friend though, and like he is my friend. I wish I could say a little bit more about how I know him just because it's funny, but, I don't know, maybe you can figure it out from that alone and we can just laugh and get on with it. But he is a friend of mine. And I was speaking to him yesterday and found out that he and his girlfriend are, yeah, like the way he put it was, yeah, like we're on that app like crackheads for these drops. Like, but they have been managing to order some. I think they must be getting the pop nows because they already know like what colors are coming. So anyway, he was telling me they were interested in selling the dupes, that they're getting the duplicates, and I was like, yeah, I like, for real, I just I will probably want at least one or two. But anyway, yeah, so it's one or two. But anyway, yeah, so that's just kind of funny. That's it. I think, I mean, I know I didn't get real deep into overconsumption and that kind of thing. I think my main point is just like, I like to try and be a little more mindful about certain things. I do not think that my collecting hobby here, that I have just started is particularly wasteful. But I do think that I am going to try and be thoughtful about the things that I'm ordering with Vine and how I deal with the packaging. Because it's been kind of a lot. I mean, granted, like I'm ordering a lot of things right now because I want to get to that, point where either, when I get to it, they'll bump me up to gold, or at the end of the evaluation period, they'll be able to bump me up. But either way, it's just something I've been thinking about. Yeah, want to keep in mind. So that's it, really. I just wanted to talk about those and my Labubus and all that. I do still have the August TBR thing to film, as well as project plans and updates. So you may see me wearing something different, looking different, whatever, next time, because I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm really glad I got myself started on all of this, but yeah, I'm just, like I said, I don't know what it is. I had a 3-day weekend, so I think that's part of it, but yeah, I just kind of want to go relax. So We'll do that, and you and I, though, will see each other much sooner. For me, I'm gonna see us tomorrow.